Lumos. Hello, friends. Welcome back to Shelf Guys Radio. I'm your host and secret keeper, Ezra, a.k.a. Bill, also known as Sir Ezra, the watchful history of magic professor, the flannel wizard, obviously. Yours truly, me. Please welcome your lovely design witch, the fascination of this year, Triwizard champion herself, and my wonderful co-host and yours, Lottie, a.k.a. Fleur.
Hallo und einen wunderschönen guten Tag. It's so good to have you back in our beautiful little cottage on the outskirts of Tinworth. Kommt rein und macht's euch gemütlich. Welcome to episode 108, in which we discuss Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This week, we will talk about chapter 25, The Egg and the Eye. We'll give you a quick life update with our homemade cottage ketchup, feed our brains with important trivia knowledge, and then dive head on into our chapter summary audio experience. And sorry, I'm kind of rocking this chair to left and right. If you're seeing the video version on YouTube, I don't know if it might annoy some people, but I kind of have to because I got to keep this chair moving because I got I got a little squirmy worm on me right now. He was so asleep just a second ago, and then the moment we hit record, he's like, "What's up?
What's going on? What are they doing? What's happening?" He could sense it in the force. I am telling you, he is strong. He is strong in the force. So there's, I mean, cat's out of the bag right there. I mean, baby's out of the cradle, whatever you want to say. But here it is. We're back, and we got a baby.
We got our baby with us.
He's here.
He's here. He's wonderful. He's keeping us busy, and it's the best thing. So
yeah. So it's just, it really is awesome. It's been life-changing and wonderful, and we're so happy, so blessed, so thankful. But we decided, you know what? It's Friday. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see if we can jump on the microphones and get back after it and stuff, because we hear all the news about Harry Potter. We've been talking ourselves about it. We've been still watching videos, speculating. We're super amped about it. There's news. I mean, my gosh, even down in Orlando, right? They're expanding the park. They have expanded the park.
I know. Can I say something about it?
Please do. Yeah.
As I'm, when I feed Luke, I always got to find something, or not always. Sometimes I listen to audiobooks. For example, I love listening right now to Fellowship, almost done, Fellowship of the Ring, first book of the Lord of the Rings. Rereading it right now because I've only ever read the first one. And I want to continue with the second and third one, but I had to reread that first one. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Also listening to Harry Potter, obviously. And then sometimes I need something to watch. So I don't know. The other day I felt like, man, I don't think we're going to go to Orlando anytime soon, at least. So I just want to know what this new part of the park looks like. And I go on YouTube, and of course, there's tons of people who cover all the details about the new epic universe. And one of them, some of you guys might have heard of them, Mammoth Club.
Yeah.
Molly and Alan, and they do all sorts, and Max, I think, is a trio. But in the video about the Harry Potter part of the park, it's just Molly and Alan, and they're awesome. They're so fun to watch. They really cover everything in detail. I think they're pretty professional. That's all I mean, I don't know if it's all they do, but it's what they do. Is their whole channel is about theme parks, Disney, Universal. They even go to different countries. I think they're in Paris and Disneyland in Paris and stuff like that. So they have a whole theme park channel, which is awesome. And it was so fun to watch them experience the Ministry of Magic, the new part of Epic Universe, with Paris from the 20s.
Yeah.
From the Fantastic Beasts movies, and then the 1990s London Ministry, the ride, but also the queue. When you walk into the queue, you actually walk into the Ministry building, and it looks amazing. And then their emotions, they really show like, wow, that was an emotional moment for them to walk into that for the first time.
Yeah.
And that was really fun.
So over on harrypotter.com, they did the announcement about it. This has been a while ago. They were just kind of talking in
Yeah.
general about it. But it opened up just like a month ago as we're recording or something like that. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it was more. I don't know
Yeah, they
exactly when
said
it
it's
opened
not
up.
even officially open yet. And I
Yeah,
think
right.
there was some pre-opening where some people can already try it. Hello.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh.
You're gonna hear him from time to time.
Yeah.
That's our little. Is he a Ravenclaw? Is he a little Ravenclaw? Is he a little Hufflepuff? We don't
Oh,
know.
we don't know yet. He
We don't
might
know
be
yet.
Gryffindor.
Yeah, he could be a
I think he might
Slytherin.
I think he might be a Ravendor.
A Ravendor.
I
Okay.
guess.
Okay. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down for that. Diversifying the family a little bit, you know. So, anyways, but yeah, you will hear Luke from time to time. He is just trying to get some sleep in. It's tough. It's tough
Oh,
being new
yeah.
here,
Oh, yeah.
and he's just
It
trying to
is.
figure it out.
He
I
is.
wanted to mention though, so you'll hear some interruptions here and there. Just again, bear with us. This is how it's gonna be. This is the cozy little cottage.
Right.
I made a joke with my buddy Lane. We've been making this joke for years. He always talks about his children on the podcast, and I now talk about my son on the podcast. That's an unexpected podcast where we talk Tolkien. And it's funny, we had a review at one point who said, like, I came here for Tolkien, not crotch fruit. And it was literally like, I thought Lane was going to be upset about it. He thought it was the funniest thing in the world, the term crotch fruit.
That's
And
hilarious.
he has made a t-shirt about it, and it's this whole thing now on that podcast. So, but obviously the vibes here on Chuck Cottage Radio it's family vibes, right? Always
Yeah.
has been, always will be. And
Yeah,
so
now even more than ever.
yeah, you're gonna hear baby cooing, and who knows what all he's gonna do over there. You're on the show, Luke. I told him
Yep.
beforehand. I said, you better get your he was working on his voice and getting his pipes ready to go. And I
Oh,
said,
yeah.
bring it on, buddy. It is time. We're starting that podcasting career early. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, got to get
He's
him
got
going.
no choice. Yeah.
But
I mean,
I did want to say real quickly, just before I lose the moment, because you were talking about emotions, and
yeah.
in their harrypotter.com release, they said, in the words of Severus Snape, control your emotions for today's news. And they then go on to kind of talk about how it's going to knock your socks off. And there's all
Yeah.
these like really cool little references that they make. And yeah, they go into great detail about the park and everything. And that video is awesome. I think Tiffany, Megan, and Katie from Swish and Flick are going in June, so a month from now when
Yes.
we're recording this, I believe.
I know. That's awesome. I think it's so cool that they're going.
Yeah. So I think it'll be fun to see maybe a vlog from them and just see what they're getting into. Looks beautiful though, and I really cannot wait
Oh, it does.
to go one day. I think the ministry, the British Ministry of Magic, they're focusing on the trial of Professor Umbridge. Dolores
Yeah,
Umbridge.
after the main story, which is pretty cool, the idea.
Yeah. So some
And they had the
extended
actress.
lore.
Yeah, the actress even came back for that. It's so fun if you think about it that the actors, I mean, they have to act for even like theme park footage,
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
scenes that haven't been there before, so it's cool.
Right. So anyway, we are kind of also doing some back-to-back recording here. So that's just a quick little mention about the theme park. We'll do a little bit more cottage catch-up here. And then next episode, we're going to be talking about the Harry Potter casting announcement. So if you're wondering why we didn't mention that, we're just doing back-to-back recordings here, trying to use our time wisely. And we'll talk about that next episode. So stay tuned. So back to the cottage catch-up, my friends. It's the end of the school year for Ez. So
Once again, the summer is upon us.
It's upon. Thank goodness. Literally, thank Merlin, because I have been a little burnout. I was messaging a few folks, and one of them was Kayla, our good friend Kayla, and I told her I think she saw a story. I think a couple people saw I posted a story about a rough day I had at work, and they're like, "You're back at work?" Like they were shocked that I was back already, and it feels like they kind of had the news that we had just had a baby, and it was like what less than 10 days, and I was back. So it's the world we live in over here. Rika wouldn't understand necessarily, or maybe she does. I'm just kidding. Because Lottie's again and from Germany going like, what the heck? That's all the time you get. I mean, we have Yeah, we need. It's
I
wild.
know, it's crazy to think about it now that he's 6 weeks old, and I normally, as a teacher, if I was working full time, I would have
Mhm.
to go back. I mean, as a teacher right now, it's perfect timing because you would go right into the summer. But
Right.
normally, after 6 weeks, most people get ready. Mothers get ready to go back to work.
Yeah.
And I think that's very, very different from how I know it in Germany and other countries over there. We have at least, I mean, most moms stay home at least 6 months to a year, and they get like what 80% of their salary.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's different.
Just
That's all I'm
different.
gonna
Yeah.
say.
And I know a lot of women, they do it. It's a part of the system, and so they don't all have the luxury to, um, yeah, they have to go back to their jobs. They
Yeah,
carry the insurance for the family or whatever it might be. There's
right.
a lot of different
Oh,
things.
there's
There's
tons of reasons why you have to. Yeah,
so many factors. So again, I started the show with saying like we're happy, we're blessed, we're thankful,
yes,
all those things because truly it's been like just a blessing, wonderful.
yeah.
Crazy. I have been though, driving around late at night, like listening to YouTube videos, podcasts. I've been listening to a lot of Tolkien because I have a lot of
Yeah.
Tolkien stuff coming up this summer. I'm running like a little series called the Tolkien Tutor over on an unexpected podcast. Lane and I are going to be kind of diving into that. Also for our friends here, I don't know if you'd be interested in this, but I thought I would mention it just as we get ready to kind of dive into the summer. But we are hosting for my other podcast. Some of you listen to both. I'm not sure. Maybe some folks have not listened to an unexpected podcast in a while. I wouldn't blame you because boy, we went a little sour on the Rings of Power show. So I think some people were like, "All right, guys. I mean, that was a little much, but also couldn't help
Yeah.
ourselves." As normally doesn't do that. I'm typically a bright shining star for rooting for fandoms and rooting for things, and we'll talk about that in terms of the show, this HBO Harry Potter show coming up
Mhm.
next episode.
Yeah.
But I wanted to mention we do have what's called the long expected party, and it will be in my hometown. And we are going to have this over at a big park. The whole town is kind of throwing like a Hobbit Day weekend
It's
starting.
awesome.
It's going to be crazy.
If you
There's
ever hear if you ever
yeah,
hear Swish and Flick talk about Kent,
right.
um, what they organize in Kent, it
Hmm.
seems like this might be something just Lord of the Rings themed in Mount Vernon now.
Yeah, yeah.
Something
And
similar.
they're all of the merchants right now, and the Merchants Guild in Mount Vernon are kind of dreaming up this
Yeah.
idea because we've tried to send a lot of business to Paragraphs, which is a local bookstore there, and we're trying to get more people to maybe come to the downtown and experience it and just different things. So I think it will be quite the adventure. So LEP3 is going to be, as what it's called. It's the third one we've had. We've had two in
Mhm.
Amanda, which were actually in Lane's backyard. We had
Yeah.
over I think we had over 70 people at the second one, which was insane in one backyard. Just podcast listeners and friends and stuff. So this one we've actually upgraded the venue, and we've got a nice big venue in Mount Vernon. And Lane's coming up with his family. Or my family's there. Ohio people are going to be there. We've already got confirmed, like I think over 50 people confirmed coming to just our event, and then Mount Vernon is also opening their doors for like
Right.
there's gonna be a oh my gosh what who was it? There is someone walking down to they're gonna have somebody dressed up as like I think they're dogs dressed up as hobbits going around downtown
That's
and stuff, and you
awesome.
can like try to find the ring bearer, and like it has a message
Oh,
for
that's
you,
so
and
fun.
there's this little quest, and there's a map where you go to the different merchants, and you get your ticket punched, and if you get all of the spots punched, you get entered for like a big drawing. They have like a Sting replica sword that they're giving away. There's just tons of events, and they're getting more and more people on board as we go. So I wanted to mention it
I
here
love
because
it.
I know some of our friends might want to come meet us, come hang out, and come to that. It is a Tolkien event, but it's a fantasy event, and it's a book club sort of
Right.
thing. So I think you guys would really like it. And it is sort of featured and revolving around our local bookstore called Paragraphs in Mount Vernon. Wonderful bookstore where I bought my Harry Potter books, my Game of Thrones books, my Tolkien books, anything I've that I read, any fandom that I cover, all 14 Wheel of Time books. I bought them there. I was sold. Lady there, Lois Hanson, actually really got me inspired and got me into some fantasy reading, and so I always talk about her. She was the manager of the store at the time, and it was great. I have this whole a lot of my former teachers actually work there or did. They frequent there and they do different things. It's just a beautiful, wonderful place. It's a small little magical bookshop. I sometimes think that there are magical aspects to it that like we don't even know about, like the back room. I think when Max goes back
Right.
there, yeah, there's probably like this whole other world that we don't see, you know? So
Yeah, I know. Like Narnia style.
yeah, or even like like Diagon Alley, right? Just going
Yeah.
through Leaky Cauldron, and you're
Yeah.
like, what else is back there? So it just has those feels and vibes. But wanted to mention it just because
Sure.
it's something that we're gonna be doing as I get towards the end of the summer. It's gonna be in September, so it's September 19th, I believe. It's that weekend. Let me just triple check here. So you're sitting here making the announcement. I don't even know the date.
Well, it
Yeah,
should
so
be.
it's September 19th and 20th. So it'll
Yeah.
be that
Isn't
Friday
that
and Saturday. Yeah.
the 22nd is the birthday party in the book, right?
Yes. Yes, but we're gonna
And
do it
because
on
it's
the
the weekend before, yeah.
yeah, that's on a Monday. Typically, it's like the 22nd has either fallen on a Sunday, like a Saturday or Friday or somewhere around in
Yeah.
there, and so that's when we do it. So it's sort of your International Hobbit Day, and we're gonna celebrate it in Mount Vernon, and we're gonna have our podcast. We're gonna do a live recording. We're gonna have open mic for people to come, kind of also be on that show as well. So Lottie will be there. My family will be there. It'd be great. So just wanted to mention it. Okay. Any other cottage ketchup we want to get into today?
Well,
Not
not
much,
really.
really.
It's
Yeah.
just,
Other than the laundry needs done behind me, like the laundry on
right?
the couch. Don't look at it. If you come to the YouTube version, you might
Hey,
even see.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say you get the unfiltered life of new parents. Bed is not made behind me. You have laundry piling up behind you. It's
Yeah.
it's just what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, could I have organized that? And it would have taken the 5 minutes it would have taken me to organize that laundry behind me might have derailed me from getting on this podcast. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? You just never know.
true.
That's how fragile it is right now. So anyway, but all right. So let's just dive in here and there. We've got
Some
some
questions.
oh boy, we're right into training. Oh my god. Right into
Yeah.
trivia.
You remember
Lord have
do you
mercy.
do you remember anything from the book series at all? Well,
No.
doesn't matter. You only have to remember the movies because these are movie questions.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we're
Da,
good.
da, da, da. And since I don't have
Thank God.
if you haven't noticed, I mean, sorry, you guys who are listening, you probably don't know. But if you're seeing the video version, we are in different separate rooms because it's just
Yes.
not because we don't like each other anymore. But we actually love each other. But it's
Yes, we do.
because it's so much easier. The setup is so much easier being in separate rooms and
So
just
much easier.
recording it on StreamYard.
We tried it downstairs. I think we did the other when we first moved in, we were in our new location
Yeah, when
and
I was still pregnant.
right,
Yep, we did that
right.
downstairs
It
and
was
it
a
was a
mess.
mess.
It was a mess, and I was like, "Oh god." So this is way better. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw a card. You're gonna draw a
Yeah.
card for me. I'm gonna draw a card for you. I guess,
And
right?
then we just say the color, whichever we choose to.
Yeah. I mean, I can
Because
also
we
just
don't have
roll. I'll
you
just
have
roll
the
it for you.
yeah. Oh yeah, okay. That works.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll for you and ask you your question. You ready?
Okay.
Purple. It is. Okay. Who is Narcissa Malfoy's sibling?
Well, she has two. Which one?
It just says sibling because it's the movies and they only know one sibling.
Okay, so we have Bellatrix.
Bellatrix and then
Malfoy. No, Lestrange. Used to be black. She's not
Uh-huh.
a Malfoy. And then we have Andromeda. Is her name, I think.
Andromeda Tonks.
Is that correct, Andromeda?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Bellatrix Lestrange. Yep. All right. Cool. You got your point. You gonna put
Oh,
it in
that's
the doc
right.
here?
In the movie, they didn't really talk about Andromeda, I guess. I mean, Tonks is just there. Oh, thank you. Sorry.
Oh, don't you dare! Don't you dare be adding extra points in there.
No, I'm not. Okay, you do it.
I got it.
Yeah, you want your question or do I get a
Yeah, here. So I'm gonna roll my. Here we go. I think that's green. It's kind of dark down here. Green.
Oh, green. Hang on. Who do Harry, Ron, and Hermione catch spying on them in number 12, Grimmauld Place?
Catch
Who-
spine. Oh.
Yeah.
Creature.
That is correct.
Yeah.
It's kind
Could
of
be.
random because that moment. Which moment are you talking about? But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think
it's,
anyone else is like spying on them.
right.
At least not. in
They're
the group.
spying on other people downstairs
Yeah.
and, extendable ears and whatnot, right?
Right. Yeah,
So,
you're right. It's Creature. Creature is
yeah.
listening in. Okay,
Booyah.
good.
All right.
You put that
Well,
you put that point in there.
oh yeah,
You
oh my
got you got
gosh.
some catching up to do.
Oh my gosh. I almost didn't
Okay.
have my. This is probably why I'm behind in points, is because someone's just not updating my points. I'm
Yeah.
clearly I've got more than 25. Have we done 25? Were we doing like 2 or 3 questions?
We're always doing 2.
Isn't it? Are we doing 2 more? We're doing another one?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I don't even remember.
Well,
I
you're
am
doing
sitting.
too many podcasts.
That is actually true. That is true. I actually had to turn Lane down the other day in terms of podcasting for Up Talk and Tolkien because I hadn't edited the episode that we had just finished.
Yeah.
We recorded like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, dude, I'm not going to record another episode until I edit this one. I'm going to get buried, Look at that cute little guy. He's just chilling.
Yeah.
Just chilling with his mama. Gosh, he loves her. Die Milchfrau. So,
Ich bin nur die Milchfrau. The
yeah.
milk lady. That's all I am.
The milk lady. I'm sorry. I thought that was really funny when he woke up one time and he looked at me and he literally was just sort of like, what? And I was like, what? And he was like, where's the milk lady? And I was like, what are you, just the boss now? I mean, he's just the boss. And he was just like, tell me where she is right now or I'm going to scream. And I was like, whoa, okay, hold on. It was like this little negotiation we had, all with eye contact. I could tell. He was raising his eyes at me like this. He was just sort of like big eye raise. Like, who
That's
are
funny.
you and where is she? It was wonderful. Anyways, I like having fun with him like that. Okay, a new card. Second trivia question. Here we go. Or no, same
Yeah.
card. Well, whatever.
You can use the same card if it's a different color.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, give me another color. Which one do you want? What are you thinking?
Which one
blue.
did I have?
Yeah, blue, orange, yellow, green, pink,
No, which one did I just have?
purple.
Oh, okay. Pink.
Pink. Okay. What happens to the objects stored inside Bellatrix Lestrange's vault when they are touched by Harry, Ron, and Hermione?
They multiply. So many. Every time I watch that scene, though,
Mhm.
I forget how they get out. And I'm like, how do they get out of this mess? Every single time.
Yeah.
I have like a blank moment where I'm like, this is bad.
This is bad. Yeah, like,
This is
Actually,
really
really
bad.
bad.
How do they get out of here?
you know what we
But yeah,
realized the
no.
other day? That scene, I actually kind of wonder. We haven't read the last book in a long time.
No. I
And
know.
I will say I've actually read the second half of the last book way more than I have. I know it's sort of in the middle of the book there, but I've read a lot of the ending quite a bit because that's where all the questions are
Yeah.
for my little shorts and for
Right.
YouTube videos
Right.
and stuff like that. But definitely need to go back and see if there's not more that I could kind of some tricky magic stuff or just different things that I don't quite remember that maybe I should go back and look
I
into.
know
If
there's
you-
some fun details.
Yeah, if you read my YouTube comments or any of my Facebook comments, by the way, I have 10,000 followers on Facebook out of nowhere. Thanks so much.
Whoop,
Pumped about that. But all of the comments I'm posting Star Wars stuff, Harry Potter stuff, Lord of the
I
Rings
mean,
stuff.
if you're wondering who's still on Facebook, well, at least 10,000 people.
At least
who like
10,000 people are
it.
still on Facebook. Okay. No, and actually, it's kind of funny because I think like that's probably more my crowd. I mean, like Facebook's the first like social media I really had. Like Instagram came along the way. It's the granddad.
Sure.
It's like the granddad.
Oh no, I remember Facebook was in its prime when I was in high school.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it was weird. I was in college and we were like, oh, I guess we got to get one. We're like, what is it? I mean, we had MySpace. I mean, did you have a MySpace?
I did for a little bit, but it definitely felt like
Did you?
ooh, I was
really?
pretty young for MySpace. Yeah.
Ooh,
I
I
did.
want to see. What did you put on there? What did you have on? What does yours look
I have
like?
no clue anymore. I don't
know what's
I
funny?
really don't know.
I vividly remember mine. You want to hear it? You want to know what mine was?
Yeah.
I had this sick backdrop, right? Because you could put like a cool back like upload some image and it would be this really cool thing. Mine was Superman. And it was
Nice.
Superman and he's pulling out the S and he's looking to the sky and It's super epic, and I think it's playing the song that I picked on there, which is so weird, was Mad World. So Mad World was playing, and it was because I was in college and I was watching was it in college, high school? I don't even know. And I was watching this movie called Donnie Darko with my friends, and we were all debating reality, and we were debating, God and predestination and all sorts of crazy stuff like you do in college. It's wild. Anyway, sorry, derailed us.
No,
that's what I do. But I'm having fun posting shorts everywhere. So there you go. Almost at 100K over on YouTube. So gotta get that going. Let's go. All right, for me, you have my card there. I'll just go ahead and pick a color, or I'll just do orange.
Give me my point, and then I'll read the question.
Oh my goodness! Seriously, you thought?
Don't worry. Your orange question is easy, so you can already add a point if you're.
Okay, I'll give myself a 26. Go ahead. Yeah,
okay, here goes the question.
Okay.
What color does a remembrall turn to let someone know they've forgotten something?
Rot. Red.
Das ist richtig. That's correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Easy. Too easy. I think after this book, we might want to go to book trivia. People are probably like, come on.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is just the warm-up trivia.
This is the warm-up, you guys. We're just getting ready, okay? For the big stuff.
For the hard ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got to say, Super Carlin Bros, they do a really good trivia. They have tons of trivia questions on their channel. If you ever want some real challenges, those are kind of fun. They get real technical, and they're very book specific.
So, yeah. I would be scared though to answer those questions.
Well, I think some people are like, "Oh my God, you run a Harry Potter thing, you should know everything." I don't. All right, jump. All right.
Oh, I know. And it's all about learning something new, right?
I never even finished my thought earlier, which is we're educators, so we're all about learning something new and teaching. If you read my comments on YouTube or anywhere, Facebook, they're all like, "Have you even read the books?" Or one today was like, "Tell me how did they say it? Like, tell me you haven't read the books without telling me you haven't read the books." I forget what it was. It was some response to some video that I made, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, these people!" But you know what? The more comments, the better. Went viral, went over 1 million. It's great. So appreciate all the comments.
Awesome.
That's what happens when you don't read the books. You make viral content. Anyway, all right. Well, friends, hey, it is time to jump into the chapter summary. Chapter 25, The Egg in the Eye. Harry sneaks out in the middle of the night, determined to solve the mystery of his golden egg. He takes his invisibility cloak and the Marauder's map and makes his way to the prefect's bathroom, a luxurious marble and gold bathing area with a portrait of a mermaid decorating the wall, and an insertion of bubble bath foams in any color and fragrance that you can imagine. Despite the fancy surroundings, the egg, when opened, still only produces that terrible screeching sound, and Harry remains stumped. But then an unexpected voice interrupts his thoughts. It's Moaning Myrtle. The ghost that normally resides in the girl's bathroom suggests he tried taking the egg underwater. Harry is a bit embarrassed by Myrtle's presence, but he follows her advice. As soon as the egg is submerged in the water, the screeching noise turns into a singing voice, reciting a song about merpeople and something Harry will sorely miss. After listening to the song a couple more times, Harry concludes that the task will probably take place in the lake and that he will have to retrieve something that is precious to him. Finally, Harry feels like he has some answers, though he's still unsure how he'll manage to swim for an hour in a huge lake, let alone breathe underwater. For now, he gathers his things and prepares to sneak back to Gryffindor Tower. But on his way there, he notices something very odd on the Marauder's map. The name Barty Crouch has appeared inside of Professor Snape's office. Harry can't believe his eyes. Mr. Crouch is supposed to be ill and hasn't been seen in public for weeks. His curiosity gets the better of him and he decides to investigate. So he begins his descent downstairs towards the dungeons. Unfortunately, in his distraction, he steps on one of the trick stairs and his foot gets trapped. As if that wasn't enough, he also drops both the golden egg and the Marauder's map. The egg flies open and begins screeching loudly through the corridor, drawing unwanted attention. Harry's foot is so stuck in between the stairs that he can't move, but at least he remains hidden underneath his cloak. First to arrive on the scene are Filch and his cat, Mrs. Norris. As the caretaker can't see anybody, he assumes that the uproar must be the work of Peeves the Poltergeist. Even worse, Snape himself appears at the foot of the stairs. He is furious that apparently someone broke into his office. And then the whole situation seems to escalate completely when Mad-Eye Moody also joins the group. Harry's heart sinks even lower. He remembers that Moody's magical eye is able to see through invisibility cloaks. There is no doubt about it. Moody clearly looks at him, but to Harry's surprise, he decides to keep the information about Harry's presence to himself. And when Snape reaches for the Marauder's map, Moody quickly claims it as his own, preventing Snape from discovering Harry. Snape, however, has already caught a glance at the map, and it dawns on him that it just has to be Potter who is behind this uproar. When Snape starts obsessively searching for Harry, Moody reminds him that he should be careful coming across as someone who is targeting Potter, after everything that's happened with the Goblet of Fire. There's a moment of intense stare down between Moody and Snape, but then Snape reluctantly backs down and returns to his office. Moody convinces Filch to hand over the golden egg, and after Filch and Mrs. Norris have left too, Harry expresses his gratitude to the Defense Against the Dark Arts professor. He explains to Moody what the Marauder's map does and tells him that he saw Mr. Crouch's name sneaking around in Snape's office. Moody is astonished by the power of the map, and he clearly knows more about Mr. Crouch's mysterious appearance on it, but he doesn't explain why. Instead, he points out to Harry that Mr. Crouch is extremely dedicated to catching dark wizards, even more than Moody himself. Harry has a feeling that there must be more to the story, but when he asks Moody what he thinks, the professor's answer is rather vague. He does confirm, though, that there are a lot of rumors going around, suggesting something unusual is going on. Before parting ways, Moody asks Harry to borrow the Marauder's map, convinced it could be useful. Harry is just glad that he didn't get in trouble thanks to Moody and lends him the map. Moody suggests that Harry consider becoming an Auror someday too. Harry finally returns to his dormitory. Laying in bed, he thinks to himself that before committing to such a dangerous career, he'd like to see how many scars the other Aurors have.
So, I just want to mention that someone in this whole book series does not receive the credit that she deserves.
Seriously?
Is Myrtle. Harry would not have been able to pass this task at all whatsoever without her. I think I mean I know he was kind of on the right track, but even like putting the egg underwater would have taken him so long. And then figuring out what it's all about, like all the hints that Myrtle gives him, and even later we'll see in the next chapter.
Oh my gosh, I know
how much she helps him.
So like,
and it's nowhere in the book really.
And I don't remember. This is where it goes.
Movie. Sorry.
Right.
We're in the book.
We're in the book right now. In case you forgot, in case we forgot, we're there. All right. But I don't even remember at the end of the book if it talks about, because it does elaborate more on fake Moody. What were we calling him again? Crudy? What are we calling him?
Crudy. Yeah.
Crudy.
Crouch. Crudy.
So in his influence on the tournament and various events, I don't think he ever mentioned like talking to Myrtle. And
right.
Did he go down to? Is this the bathroom where the Chamber of Secrets is? No, it's not. Right? It's a different. bathroom.
No. Yeah, it's totally different. It's this beautiful bathroom just for the prefects.
Right, and so he needs the password to get in there. So, but she happens to come up here. Right? She's up here.
Yeah.
Why? Why was she up here? Why is she not down at her normal spot? Right?
She says she comes there sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, Harry asks her, and she comes there probably all the time to spy.
Or did Crudy promise her something? Did he promise her something? I'm just kidding. I have no idea. But it's sort of crazy to think that she's there, and you're right. She has the answers, and what was he gonna do?
I don't know.
He was gonna sit there and by the way, what a terrible clue, Cedric. I mean,
I know Harry said that.
It's like
bath with it.
Just take a bath.
But he said with it.
Yeah.
So Harry didn't get that clue with the egg. So the egg should be in the bath.
Yeah. But I guess it just goes to show kind of how thick Harry is, and Cedric too. Like Cedric's trying to like follow the rules, and like, I didn't really tell him, right? I didn't really officially tell him exactly what to do. I just sort of implied it'd be a great place to take a bath with the egg. Okay, cool.
Yeah. By the way, I think that bathroom has some sort. It gives me definitely like room of requirement vibes, as if that's like in a branch of the room of the requirement, just like for a prefix. I mean, it doesn't change. It's always a bath, like with a bathtub and everything. But
Yeah.
as if some prefect must be a really stressful job to be a prefect, and you just needed a place to relax and get away.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, if you think about it, though, prefects are most often the students that, like, high performing students that probably
Sure.
have a lot of difficult classes. They really take things serious and they need to study a lot. Um, that would be like your ideal prefect. And then they also, on top of that, have the duties that a prefect has.
Right.
Um, why not give them a room to just relax, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of pressure on him, so for sure. Is that a co-ed bathroom? Don't know.
Well, it just says prefects, so I don't know.
Taking a swim. How big is that pool? Like, do they go in there and just have like pool parties and
To
stuff?
me, I think in the movie it's pretty big, and that's how I always imagined it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, there's multiple faucets where different kinds of bubble baths come out, and
Yeah. I can just imagine. Like, I
hello,
left
little
work.
dolphin.
Oh, there he is. He's back. He's like, guys, don't forget me.
Don't worry. Hey,
Don't worry. Yeah.
I might that since I'm connected to the microphone, I can just stand up sometimes. So
Oh yeah, guys. By the way, on the
don't
YouTube
mind me.
version, we just have this as for fun. I mean, really, this is a podcast, so we're all about the audio here.
What
And
if we
the
talk about
conversation.
something really cool though, and you want to make a short out of it, and all you see of me is like this?
That's actually awesome. I think people would be curious. They'd be sort of like,
Right.
wait, what is she doing? If you're like, she's holding her baby, you doofus. Like, what do you think she's doing?
Yeah,
Oh man.
that's funny.
But I was driving home today from work, and it's the end of the year. So in high school, there's always like a senior prank,
Yeah.
and the prank this year was to basically take a whole hallway and throw a bucket of water, several buckets of water down the hallway with soap suds, and have a slip and slide. Like it's this linoleum or
Mhm.
it's tile. It's just
Well,
tile.
very, very fitting for this chapter.
Very fitting. So I thought, I mean, I'm thinking of like the prefects coming up there and just saying like party, just
Right.
like
I
slip
mean,
and slides,
I am sure there have been parties in this bathroom.
Yeah, it's
And not
big
just
big
prefect.
enough.
I mean, if anyone can give that password to others, right? So Harry is not a prefect,
Oh,
and
they're
he's
bringing their
still.
friends in there for sure. This is a
Yeah, I
club.
was
This
gonna
is a
say. Probably,
yeah,
but it's interesting that it's a bathtub club. So,
yeah,
like, pool parties for sure were held in that.
yeah.
And
Kind
and
of
Myrtle has always been there, like, she feels like she's part of that party club. But it's kinda sad, though. Myrtle's story is really sad because she actually mentions, um, she's always very touchy when they mention something about breathing or eating or something that dead people can't do, and Harry's just like, "I'm so I forgot that you're dead." She's like, "Yeah, sure." I'm just how would you, like, no one remembers Myrtle and stuff like that. And Olive Hornby is the one who found her, but she said it took them hours. No one noticed that I was even gone. And
right.
it's kind of sad. She I think she was a Ravenclaw.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I feel like
I,
she's probably, I don't know how old she was, grade she was in, but I don't know. I feel like she was kind of bullied and, like, not really in her bloom yet. And but she's probably a nice girl, and she just had this trauma that nobody cared really that she died. So,
yeah. It is. Yeah. It is very sad, and there's just. I mean, it's just
and
crazy that.
now,
Yeah.
yeah, and now she feels like, okay, I'm being in that prefect's bathroom where they probably have a lot of parties going on. I don't know. She kind of feels like she's in the middle of everything there.
Yeah. I'm all give Myrtle a pass on anything and everything. It's just like that's. People get on her because she's moaning Myrtle and she's annoying and she's this and she's that. She's like a peeping tom in
Right.
this chapter. But the poor girl was. I mean,
Yeah.
she's killed in 1943 by Tom Riddle
Crazy. I
and
know.
the basilisk. Like, come on,
It is crazy.
sucks. It's crazy. I think she is a Ravenclaw, though. So at least that's what the wiki says. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's still a little bit creepy though, that she I mean, if other way around, like if you had like a girl or like a guy ghost spying on you while you're getting in the bathtub naked, it's kind of creepy.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely, it definitely is. This kind of reminded me. We were talking about the prefects having like a party and like a bath. You were like, it's weird because it's like this bath party,
Right.
house sort of thing. And it instantly reminded me of chapter 5 in the Fellowship of the Ring. It's called A Conspiracy Unmasked. And they go to Crick Hollow Cottage, and there's this whole scene where it's a conspiracy.
Oh yeah.
Right, and they're all taking a bath, and these hobbits
Right.
are all like they're naked, walking around like taking a bath and together and everything. And I remember Lane kind of came up with the phrase like what was it, like a bath, or it was like a beer, a bath, and a conspiracy or two or something. I don't know what he said. It was maybe it was actually part of the chapter. I can't even remember, but they were definitely having a good drink, and then they were washing up and telling Frodo kind of the conspiracy that they were all kind of watching out for him and stuff. And then Crick Hollow Cottage is also just a sick little spot in the Shire. So reminds me of our little cottage here, Shell Cottage. So anyway, but that whole scene, thankfully, Myrtle is there to kind of give him the heads up and let him know what's going on. So he figures out that they're gonna, the mer people are going to take something or someone precious from him. And right. I mean, it's also interesting that they don't really know a whole lot about the lake, and there's rumors like the giant squid, and then there's like,
we don't know what's in there.
Yeah, and he finally
I
kind
would
of
be scared,
realizes,
and I'm a pretty good swimmer.
Scared to death, man. I'm like, as soon as I was thinking about this, I was like, over in Scotland when we went there, and we actually saw the lake, or what would be like outside the viaduct. We kind of saw this,
I know,
right?
and it's beautiful from above.
Yeah, I mean, it
I
is
would be
really
kind of scared to swim in there.
Yeah, now I'd be scared now thinking about Grindylow and all sorts of other creatures in there. I mean, Fleur couldn't get through, so she was attacked.
I know,
That's the next chapter, but
and
anyway.
I don't think she's I think she's pretty powerful, like at least medium.
Well, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. This whole thing, and there's more Crudy, fake Moody going on than I think we realize. So
yeah, probably.
Anyway, yeah,
this guy's awake.
Is he wide awake?
He's so cute, though. He just woke up.
Oh, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. We may be pausing the podcast here and there just to kind of.
We might.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's see. What does the timer say? Hour 52 minutes. He might be hungry. Should I feed him real quick?
Oh yeah, hour 52, probably. Yep.
Or should we turn? Yeah, probably he's getting fuzzy. Yeah.
Yeah, I put down here 42:30. Yeah.
Okay.
Feeding of the baby. All right, friends, we are back from our break. 45 minutes later. I mean, it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do. Baby's got to be fed, and so I love this though. We're just we want to do this. Like we want to talk about these things. We've been listening to the chapter. I think like we've been listening to the chapter kind of on repeat. I've listened to it like 2 to 3 times in the car because we're like, oh yeah, remember we have to be ready for like the next chapter.
Right.
I'm ready to like move on to the rest of the book. So whole reason we wanted to kind of do this. But anyways, where we left off was essentially, the discussion on Myrtle, and I'm going to dive us into the most exciting bits and pieces, and you guys will kind of see how we chunk this up here. But essentially, Harry's on his way back. Excitement. He's figured everything out, thankfully. And but he's noticing on the Marauders map that there is a Barty Crouch in Snape's like office or something, right?
Correct.
In his
sneaking around in his
office storage room. And so he goes to, semi-investigate, and he gets so caught up in the moment, I think, in focusing on the Marauders map, he steps into a one of the trick stairs, right? One of the trick steps or something.
Yes, and he says normally he would not forget about it. Normally it's Neville who forgets about this step. But he's so caught up in finding out who this person is, or not who this person is. He knows it's Barty Crouch, but what he's doing there.
What's he doing there? And he's ill.
Right.
And then it's also more odd if he thinks about it, reflects on it, like Barty Crouch no one mentions him, like Snape, Mad-Eye Moody, this is fake Moody, but like for Harry, that he never is revealed. I mean, even Filch is running around thinking it's Peeves. They think that the shriek of
Mhm.
the egg, because he drops the egg, as we said in the summary, and
Oh,
it goes
yeah,
kind
it's
of
terrible.
crazy.
There's
So that's
a
that's really
lot of confusion going on. Yep.
right, and that's really one of the biggest moments. And I think one thing that has stood the test of time in terms of like the series and questions and theories outside of this is this very moment where
Mm.
Mad Eye Moody, fake Moody, Crudy is using his eye to look through the invisibility cloak and he can actually see
Uh-huh.
Harry Potter. How is that
Yeah.
possible? How can he do that? How is his eye able to do that? Is it that this Deathly Hallow is not that powerful? Is the eye more powerful? Right?
Right? Yeah, it's kinda interesting to go back now that we know that the cloak is not just any invisibility cloak, but it's actually the Hallow,
Yeah.
that it's that the eye is able to do that. Yeah, what does that mean
Hmm.
for the power of the eye?
It almost seems like it's more powerful. I think it was the
Right.
Super Carlin Bros or someone who had a theory that perhaps they use the eye. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm giving them credit and it's not them. It's somebody else on Reddit or something. I read so many theories. But that the eye might have been used to create the invisibility cloak.
Yeah.
The eye might be that ancient. It could even be like the all-seeing eye of like one of the Egyptian gods or something, something way back in their
Mhm.
Egyptian lore and in magic. The
Interesting.
eye of Horus, if you will, or something. And that it's this
Yeah.
powerful eye, or it's a relic, or it's a similar artifact of some kind, because we don't know much
The
about it. We don't really know, you know.
No, the Eye of Death.
Yeah,
Because yeah,
yeah,
actually the cloak is supposed to, hide you from death, right?
right, right.
But the
E
eye can see through it.
Right, and but the irony there is that, like, this was supposed to be a cloak. This is Death's own cloak that Death possibly couldn't see through, you
True.
know?
So no,
So,
yeah, that does make sense.
yeah, but it's
Something
close.
beyond it, I
It's something
guess.
like that, though, right? It's the
Yeah.
fact that it
Yeah.
has the power to supersede it. Now, you go back to, as Dumbledore has always said with the Hallows, they're really just steeped in lore and legend, and they're actually just they were powerful wizards who were created. The Peveril brothers created powerful artifacts. That's just what they did. They're
Yeah.
extremely powerful. Um, but again, this artifact is more powerful. So I wanted to take a sidestep for just a minute and kind of go down some crazy rabbit hole, if you will.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Bring it on.
Yeah, okay. So this is gonna be nuts. Let me see where to start with this. Okay. You guys are I hope you're ready for just off the wall. This is a script I was kind of writing for a YouTube video. It's not finished, but you will get to some of the main idea here. So, invisibility cloaks are rare. The ability to see through true invisibility is even rarer. Rarer. It's hard to say. In the wizarding world,
Yeah.
there are plenty of items and fantastic beasts that can turn invisible. But is there anything that can see through that invisibility? And the answer is yes. And as we just mentioned in this chapter, it is Mad Eye Moody's eye. So in the entire Harry Potter series, there's only one object known to have the ability to see through true invisibility. And by true invisibility, we mean things like a demiguise, a thestral, and most importantly, the cloak of invisibility, one of the fabled Deathly Hallows, a relic of immense power passed down for generations, right? So that cloak,
Right.
that was a cloak that was truly invisible. Nothing could see through it. It didn't fade over time, etc. Zeno Lovegood goes on to kind of explain it. He says the third hallow is a true cloak of invisibility. I mean to say, it is not a traveling cloak with a disillusionment charm or bedazzling hex, or else woven from demiguise hair, which will hide
Mhm.
one initially but fade with the years, right? And it turns kind of opaque. We're talking about a cloak that really and truly renders the wearer completely invisible. Now, again, it's Zeno Lovegood talking about that, but it's meant
Right.
to, like, nothing can trump it, right? Nothing. And so as
Yeah.
we discuss this and we think about this, like, wait a second, Mad Eye Moody's eye can,
Right.
right? There's no spell that can penetrate the cloak, yet we know that his eye, his piercing blue eye, can see right through the cloak.
Yeah.
So Now there's a theory though, a little bit about this eye, and I was sort of writing this, and I don't remember exactly who to give credit to for this. This is where I got back into a little bit of because I did stumble upon it was a combination of YouTubers as well as Reddit and Quora, so it was quite a bit of hoop jumping, but. And then I kind of made it my own. I kind of finished this thought and theory that was unfinished, and that's what I'm trying to do with this script here. But anyways, so let me see. This is just the eye and the egg. I'm not going to. Well, actually, it's relevant to this chapter, so I'll go ahead and read it. Moody took a step closer to the foot of the stairs. Harry saw Moody's magical eye travel over Snape and then unmistakably onto himself. Harry's heart gave a horrible jolt. Moody could see through invisibility cloaks. Moody alone could see the full strangeness of the scene. Snape in his nightshirt, Filch clutching the egg, and Harry, trapped in the stairs behind them. Moody's lopsided gash of a mouth opened in surprise. For a few seconds, he and Harry stared straight into each other's eyes. Then Moody closed his mouth and turned his blue eye upon Snape again. And this is again, chapter 25, The Egg and the Eye, which we're in right now.
It's kind of hilarious. Sorry, just thinking about that scene and Harry just trapped in there, like trying not to move, not to make any sounds, and Moody's seeing him, and it's like, you know, for a moment, it's like, what? Oh god! And then he just has to catch himself, right, not to give it away that he saw something, because we know Snape. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, you're fine. No, go.
Oh yeah, because you're talking about the eye, but I just thought it was hilarious to think about that scene.
Oh, it is the way they were kind of staring at each other. Yeah, when you read that passage, it's sort of like and he's got to be grinning, thinking like no one can see Harry, he can.
Right.
Harry's froze. Filch just got the daggone egg over here. Like, I mean, it is a little.
Thinking it's Peeves, yeah.
Right. It's definitely a little crazy. So. But I go on to ask, what kind of powerful object is this? We know that Alastor Moody did not always have this strange-looking eye. For most of his life, he had two normal eyes. Yet, right at the end of the First Wizarding War, he mysteriously acquires this mad eye, perhaps as a replacement for one lost in a duel. But how did he get it? Some members of the fandom believe that Dumbledore created this eye for Alastor, and that might have been actually what the Super Carlin brothers had mentioned. He's a powerful wizard. He's an inventor. He's the master of the Elder Wand, which can perform extremely advanced and powerful magic. But an item this powerful, literally on the same power level as the Cloak of Invisibility itself, has to have a better origin story. And so I then go on to kind of think about a way in which we've found its origin story. So it's really like, where does it come from? What is it? Because the fact that Mad-Eye Moody doesn't have it his whole life, and he does get it or acquire it somewhere, and it has this kind of power, that's a big deal, and it's something we don't talk enough about in the fandom, probably. So I've been working on some theories, with surrounding MACUSA, horned serpent dragons, and I've been going on this for a while, like horned serpent dragons and their gemstone of invisibility. More on that later. The emblem, though, for MACUSA looks a lot like the Deathly Hallows minus the Elder Wand. This, and I found this on Reddit. So this is somebody who was kind of detailing these connections between Mad-Eye Moody's eye, the all-seeing eye, and all this kind of stuff, right? So if you go look at that logo, it's very interesting. And where the Resurrection Stone would normally be, that's where we see, like, it's a stone, circular, but in the MACUSA logo, we actually see, instead of the Resurrection Stone, the all-seeing eye. And then there's a phrase written around it 3 times. It says, always stay vigilant. And I just think you cannot, you cannot not, right? I mean, like, okay, so
that's crazy.
That's his phrase. And even though some people kind of argue, Moody never actually said that. And actually, I went and looked, and I don't think he actually ever says the phrase constant vigilance. I think it's just like, that's what Ron and Harry and Hermione know that he would say. But that was a technicality that when I went and looked this up, like, technically he never says.
No, maybe not in the book, but I think he does in the movie.
In the movie, he does for sure. But somebody was sort of like, it's turned into this movieism, kind of has bled over into our understanding of the book. And
True.
Yeah, Harry and Hermione know him, so we take them at their word that he would be someone who would say that. But he himself doesn't actually ever. I don't think we ever hear him quoted as saying constant vigilance. But I could be wrong. I gotta go back and look. I tried to do like a quick search in the books. Anyway, to get back on point, and just to recap that, Mad-Eye Moody has a special eye that he didn't have for the first half of the Wizarding War. Like, it's acquired after a duel, and the speculation is, did Dumbledore make it? Was it gifted to him? Did he buy it or acquire it? Is it a family heirloom? Did it pass down from someone in his family? And you start to make these, and I got on this train of like the horned serpent and invisibility and whatnot, and then MACUSA, and then always stay vigilant, and their whole logo. It's just crazy. So now that famous phrase, thinking about that, and then looking at, like, you go to MACUSA and you look at like some of the original people that were there, and you look at the movie, and you've got Percival Graves is one of the Aurors there, and he is descended from, I think, one of the original 12 founders of MACUSA. If you go look up some of these 12 original Aurors, the people who founded MACUSA, you find the name Abraham Potter, and
wow,
which is wild. Yeah, that there's an actual Potter who is is related
in
to the same
United
Potters.
States. Yeah,
he's in the United States. He's related to the same Potters who inherited the invisibility cloak from Ignotus Peverell. So obviously we know that the cloak of invisibility stays in Britain and it's passed down to James Potter. But clearly Abraham was fundamental to the foundation of MACUSA. He and others would definitely have had a say in creating their own emblem. So the original 12 members would have a say in creating what their emblem looks like. And the fact that they make it like, they're like, hey, what should we put on here as our cool little emblem? And they have the words, always stay vigilant. And then they also have the all-seeing eye where the resurrection stone is for the Deathly Hallows. Like, that's too many connections, right? There's some sort of, there's something going on there. So the theory kind of goes on to speculate that if Mad-Eye Moody's eye were this old ancient relic thing, that maybe the Peverell brothers also created it. Maybe they created many different things, and the things that became most revered or gained the most lore or legend were the Deathly Hallows. But perhaps they invented other things along the way, or they acquired things from Egypt or other places, and you have the eye that they used in the creation of the Cloak of Invisibility. So if that's the case, and they pass this down through their line, if you have some Potters that split off and go over to America, that being Abraham Potter, he might take with him the all-seeing eye, Mad-Eye Moody's eye, and pass that down through his line. And I go into all the different, sort of J.K. Rowling's, how she likes to hide things through a mother's maiden name and through the female line. And it's pretty cool, and how it could actually get all the way down to Percival Graves and his family. And there's from there you can go a lot of different directions with this idea as to how it actually goes on to basically speculate that Alistair Moody is actually related to the Graves family, and that he's actually like his Percival Graves' sister, possibly. This is going to sound like complete hogwash and complete made up stuff, because it is sort of just speculation. That there was some, his belongings, like if he did have some special eye as an Auror to like investigate or see things, that's a cool tool, right? It's a cool tool that Aurors would use. And somehow that eye is passed down through the MACUSA line. Percival Graves, once he's killed, it's interesting that Grindelwald has a blue eye, a piercing blue eye himself. Is that the same eye? Is that the same eye? Is that the same eye as Alistair Moody? Did he get that from Percival Graves? Did he get that from Abraham? Did Abraham Potter, was that passed down through his descendants, and did it go to Percival Graves, and then Graves has it stolen by Grindelwald, and then Grindelwald's defeated and it's reacquired by Dumbledore and then given by Dumbledore back to Alistair Moody when he needs it, when he loses an eye? I mean, sounds crazy, but it's there's no backstory on the eye.
No,
and its power. So yeah, I'm working on something, trying to piece it together. So
it is crazy, and it's kind of interesting how the eye, if it, was once coming from MACUSA, that it also found its way into the British Ministry through Umbridge, and there it's like constant vigilance through the eye in her door, at her door.
Right.
I feel like it totally. I mean, it's up to who possesses the eye, which is the fact actually with any magical item, really. But it could also be a dark magical item, right? Like
Yeah,
you're using it like it could be something you would see in
Borgin and Burke's.
yes.
Yeah, something you would see there for sure, possibly. Yeah, I mean, its origins are just completely unknown. Like one of the things I
Yeah.
speculated here, just to if people, I'm gonna do a whole write up on this actual theory, but like if this did come down to Abraham Potter, yes, he's a skilled, or he was one of the 12 original protectors of Makusa, which is the American wizarding government. But what sets him apart is his possession of some probably rare and powerful artifact like the all-seeing eye, and I think that's probably what he had. And it's capable of piercing through the strongest concealments, even
Yeah.
true invisibility itself. Like that would be worthy of putting on your emblem and saying, you know, like the phrase "always stay vigilant," you know, kind of thing. But I go on like how is it passed down through his line? Like why doesn't it stay with the Potters? I speculate that Abraham had no sons to carry on his legacy or like the Potter name. Instead, his only daughter inherits this magical artifact and when he passes, and she would later marry the son of a legendary or it's one of the Graves, Godolphus, I think is his name,
Mhm.
Godolphus Graves. And just like that, the all-seeing eye, once belonging to Potter, now becomes a Graves family heirloom because she married into the Graves family. And this is the daughter of Abraham Potter. That's all pure speculation, but it's just the
Yeah.
way in which that this could pass. It could be a Potter thing. It could be, you know, the Peverils, and it's running down through the Potter line, goes to Abraham, and then boom, it's going to go to his daughter, then go to the Graves
Mhm.
family, pass down to Percival Graves. He passes away without any heirs. It goes to his sister who married, you know, a Moody over in Britain, and then she gets his stuff. You know what I'm saying? It could do things like that, and I think it would be a cool thing. And I kind of wonder
Yeah.
if there's not like a sheet of paper on J.K. Rowling's desk where she has
Like a little bit of backstory. Yeah,
a
for that
backstory for
eye.
this and was thinking about some of these different things. So
Yeah.
anyway, there's a whole script, and I'll kind of like it's probably sounded crazy and all over the place because I didn't quite remember it as we were going into this chapter, and I'm just trying to remember it as I pull it up here live on the show. So there's that, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I mean, one, is that crazy? Some of the stuff that I mentioned, and look for that theory in the next couple of weeks. I think I'm gonna try to get that out early summer. But what do you guys think about like Moody's eye? You know, he didn't have it before. Where did he get it? What are your thoughts and theories on it, its origins and its
Would
powers?
you, well, never, hopefully you never lose an eye, but if you had to, would you think it's cool to use it, to have it, or would you rather not have an eye like that?
Well, I think if magic is involved, that's why I think like Grindelwald probably took it. That's why I think it was so interesting that he had two different colored eyes in the secrets of or the crimes of Grindelwald. Like the fact that Johnny Depp has two
Yeah.
different eyes. One is piercing blue. A dark wizard would do something like that. They and
Yeah.
actually even if I were some sort of if I wanted to, you think about like a video game where you're adding armor and you're adding like assets to make you better as a character, to make you more efficient at your job, more powerful, stronger. Yeah, having something like that that could keep your eyes open to disillusion, like you
Mhm.
could not hide from like a disillusionment charm could
Right,
not
no.
hide you from that eye.
No.
Think about that for a second. So being an aura with that sort of powerful object, like
Yeah.
so yes, the answer is yes. I would if I had magic and I could kind of do it.
Yeah.
I would and I was hunting dark wizards. You better believe I would love to have
Yeah.
that in my arsenal for sure.
But, just in, our everyday life.
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't
I
think
don't
so
think so.
either.
There's
Sometimes
some
you
things I
just
don't want to see.
no, exactly. Sometimes I mean, I wonder how yeah, how you can just sometimes you don't wanna see what's going on behind closed doors or people I don't know. Just
I'm
let
a
them
school
keep their
teacher.
sec
I also
right.
just there's a lot of things I walk down the hallway and I'm just sort of like, did I have to come on?
Right.
Now I saw it, now I have to say something. No. Gosh
Right?
dang it.
Sometimes we wanna yeah, we don't wanna see everything
No,
that people are trying to
no. I do
conceal
wanna
from you.
remain constantly vigilant. That's for
Right.
sure. I do like the
Oh,
constant
yeah,
vigilance.
yeah, I mean, in his shoes, in actual Moody's shoes, that's I mean, a great asset to have.
Yeah.
Yep, great.
So,
Okay.
okay. All right.
Back to the chapter though. Since Harry is seen by Moody and he trusts him because Crudy has built this trust with Harry. I'm just amazed at how easily he gives him the map at the end.
Easily he gives him the map. Oh,
how he just says, yeah, no, you can have it. It's okay. Because he just, it's such a powerful
Harry?
item. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Moody asks him,
Right.
do you mind if I borrow that map? Because, clearly Harry has seen him and he cannot have Harry. It would be detrimental for him if Harry still continues to have this map and sees Crouch in all these places now.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. 100%. Pause because our baby boy he's telling us to wrap this chapter up as fast as possible. He probably wants to go for a ride with Dada.
Hi, Dada.
Oh my.
Hi.
You. Look at you.
Hi.
Let me just look real quick here and see what we have left in the chapter. Really,
that's basically the last thing I've said where he gives him the map. I just wanted to point that out, that it's crazy how easily Harry said, just because he's relieved that he doesn't get in trouble. So yeah, you can have it. But I remember Lupin was upset that Harry had this item, and when he still believed that Sirius was guilty, that he would have it, and if this gets into the wrong hands, how powerful and awful it is.
Yeah.
I might change it, but
yeah, that's fine too. Yeah. I actually have the review pulled up for us and stuff. So, guys, I just want you to know, Lottie is a hero. She is amazing. It blows my mind how she can. I don't know. Like, there's so much. When we were at the hospital, that was probably won't make the recording. This might just be something that, like Lottie hears. I don't know. Maybe we'll tack it on at the end. But I remember one of the nurses said to us, like, so much falls upon a mother's shoulders. And I'm just like, wow, especially in those first, like, 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. And it's amazing. It is literally amazing. And to see it firsthand, up close, it's like an honor, And it really is just an honor to see the way she embraced motherhood and just is just everything that kind of goes on. It's just mind-blowing. All right, it's mind-blowing. And she does it just unfazed, and just I'm just so proud of her. She's doing such a good job. It's all new. It's wild. We're going on, like, not much sleep and just kind of making it work. But it's so nice though, because we've actually just embraced our little cozy cottage, and we finally got into our baby bubble, where, like, we had some family come over from Germany like 2 weeks in a row. It was wild. It was great. I'm glad they were here, but also it was so draining. It was so much. And it's just really good to have our home back and to be in our cozy little environment. And so, we've got nothing to do this weekend. We're just chilling out with our son and loving up on each other and eating good food and watching movies and hanging out, just enjoying the baby bubble. And so we're also squeezing in recordings, just a little different, just a batch here, a batch there. And because we love it, just love it. And we love you guys. And just, we love being a part of this fandom and just your friendship. And it's just awesome. So I'm just down here again. Lottie's upstairs changing his diaper, doing her thing, bouncing him around. She's just amazing. So, and he is too. He's such a little cutie. You can hear him back there. Oh.
Okay. This is gonna be fun. We're still recording, right? So I can just jump back in.
Yeah, absolutely. You can jump right back in.
Honestly, I'm over here. You can probably see this crazy log cable, and I'm just here with him in the bed. But all I wanted to say is that if we remember Lupin from Prisoner of Azkaban, he told Harry how dangerous it is to have the map and have it fall into the wrong hands. And
Yeah,
here's Harry just happy he didn't get in trouble, that Moody helped him out. And I mean, that's how he
for
was
sure.
with Lupin too. That's
Right.
how he was with Lupin too, because Lupin wanted to have the map, right? But
Yeah. Imagine if Voldemort would have had that map and could see where Dumbledore
I
was,
know,
and
and he could have.
he could catch him
I
while he
know.
was in the bathroom or something. You know what I mean?
I mean, right there, Barty
Just boom.
Crouch has two crazy powerful objects: the
Yeah.
eye and the map.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's
Yeah. So
pretty wild. Pretty wild. So, but yeah. Anyway, just some fun. It's a fun chapter. We finally get moving. We're gathering some speed. This was a good way to kind of get back into us podcasting, and
yeah,
yeah. We'll be diving into the second task,
yeah.
which is fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Even more speculation to make there. Old moaning Myrtle. Good lord, she's suspicious next chapter. So we'll talk all about that later, though. But we did want to, before we go, I wanted to read a recent review that we had,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, this is I have no idea. I love the usernames. No idea how to say it, so I'm not even going to try. But thank you. The review is Positive Potter Podcast Review. So this was on February 10th. And we just want to say thanks so much. And found Ez and Lottie via an unexpected podcast, Swish and Flick Pipeline. I love that, and love hearing more Potter thoughts from y'all. And this person is from Texas, I think. So it's
Yeah, it's
Texarkana.
Jira Soul
Yeah.
Texana. Yeah,
See,
something like that.
yeah, and the
Cool.
y'all kind of that language.
Yeah. It's
Anyway,
awesome.
still playing catch up, but loving the reread so far. Your voices accompany me as I carry out my day as a stay-at-home mom and caregiver
Yay.
for an aunt and uncle in assisted living. Your HP travel recaps take me back to my final summer of college spent at Christ Church, Oxford, where some of the first movie was filmed. Pretty cool. And where I got to attend the sixth book midnight release and convert several friends to Potter fans. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what it's about. The conversion. Love getting to be reimmersed in the intersection of travel and Potter fandom, as well as getting to now introduce them to my kids. Thank you for the positive content and best wishes to you as you get ready for your little pumpkin on the way. So this is again,
Yay.
yay, back in
Little
Little
pumpkin.
Pumpkin. He was our peach bunny, is what we called him for a
Yes,
while.
we did.
Our peach
Yeah,
bunny.
when we didn't know what you were and who you were yet.
Way back in the day. Oh my gosh. Well, we're back when we were at Kent. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Anyway, and also want to shout, I'm glad she shouted this out here because I want to as well. P.S. Lottie, I'm loving seeing your rosy little cheeks crochet creations. I crochet myself, and I'll have to tag you,
Yeah.
yeah, in a
That's
Snitch baby blanket.
awesome.
So really cool.
I love that. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. I love it so much. I love crocheting so much. I love people who crochet,
Yeah.
and I love seeing other people's projects, and it's just I am getting back into it. I'm actually making something for little Lucas here.
Yeah.
But it's taking me a long time because I find 10-20 minutes every day maybe. And I wanted a project that's pretty easy to get back into it, and it
Mhm.
turned out to be a lot harder than
Complex.
I thought, and very complex and very new stitches and stuff, which I didn't think it was going to be. But yeah, now I started it, so I'm going to finish it.
Yeah. It does look good. I've seen the feet, and the feet are looking good. So
But anyway, thank you so much for that
yeah,
super nice review, and I always love hearing from people, and especially just people we never really met or heard of, and yeah, it's cool to
yeah,
know that you're enjoying the project, and other
mhm,
other stay-at-home moms and other crocheters or other teachers, whoever you are, and it's nice to find some similarities. And I mean, our big similarity is we all love the story of Harry Potter and the Wizarding World, but it's cool
yeah.
to hear from you. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much. I have to say, as we sign off here, thanks guys. This is our first episode back as parents, and so
Yeah.
gonna be some editing involved, which is totally fine. But I have to say, when we first started Chuck Cottage Radio, Lottie was so nervous and had all these, it was podcasting is new. It's a brand new thing. Also, English is not your first language, right? You grew up speaking German. And so to see her multitasking with my son is wild. When you went away, I actually did this little like speech to everyone here, and I don't know if it'll make it in the episode or not, but I kind of like, yeah, because it's just wild multitasking. And he's like, I need more multitasking right now. He's saying, Daddy, end this episode and take me on a drive. I think he wants me to take him for a ride. That's what I think.
Oh, maybe. We lost our pacifier.
Oh.
Nein. Oh nein, der Nuckel ist runtergefallen. Oh nein. Okay.
and then he's all good. Oh, anyway. All right. Well, hey, friends, thanks. That's all for this week. Thanks for tuning in to Chuck Cottage Radio 94.7 COZY. We hope that you're going to join us in the future. We thoroughly enjoy meeting new positive Potter people. Don't behave like babbling, bumbling bands of baboons.
Baboons. Baboons, baboons, baboons. Maybe we'll have Luke say this in the future.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It'll be the first word he learns. Baboons.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Baboons.
If you don't want to miss out on the next episode, then be sure to subscribe to our podcast, leave us a review, and follow on social media at fleurandbill.
If you truly enjoy our content, consider supporting our growing wizarding family on Patreon or Apple Premium. You'll find all the links down below. Thank you so much to all our current patrons for sticking around. We love you and appreciate you. To Luna and back. On our next episode, we will discuss Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Chapter 26, The Second Task. So make sure you tune back in next time. And until then, have a great rest of your week, of your month, of your year. We don't know yet when we'll be back. But thanks so much for tuning in, for joining us in our Shell Cottage today. We know it's not much, but it's definitely home. Right, Lucas? Oh, yeah. Right. We love you.